Hey everyone, Pastor Matt here, and I just want to come to you today and bring you an update and continue to communicate with you about what's happening and what we're thinking moving forward. And this is something that we really want to try and do well and do consistently in this time, and that is just to communicate with you often and bring you updates that keep you informed. But we also recognize that there may be things that we forget and that we lose track of. And so if you listen to this and you go, man, I've still got some questions and I'm wondering what is going on and I just need some more information, contact us, email us, call us on the phone, let us know. Because we fully recognize that we are human people who are capable of losing track of certain aspects of this. And so we want to do our best to be transparent with you, but we ask you to do the same with us. So if there's ways we can serve you better or we can clarify things for you well, let us know. Communicate that with us. Trust me, it won't be a bother. You won't be a burden. We would rather over-communicate with you than not be able to let everyone know where we're at. And we fully recognize in this time that things are just flexing. Things are just changing all the time, and it's hard to really truly know what's going to take place from week to week. And so I just want to encourage you, let's be grateful each week that we are able to do something, because that's really going to impact our attitudes and how we influence our communities well in this time. And it may look different down the road. It may shift even further. But let's not jump to that. Let's not be pessimistic about that, but rather just rejoice in what we do know and what we do have and are able to do right now and lean into this time together. Now, we've been gathering for the last several weeks in person, while continuing to gather online. And we've been doing 3 services. We've been doing Thursday night, and we've been doing 2 on Sunday morning. We're going to continue this format all the way through the month of July. So we've got a few more weeks here, and that's what we'd originally planned on doing, but we're going to follow through. We're going to do that through the end of the month, and that's going to look the same. The format's going to look the same. The seating's going to look the same. The teams that are volunteering are going to look the same. And we're gonna follow through with that consistency through July. Now, after that point, things are gonna change just in one way, and that is we're gonna go from 3 services to 2. And the reasoning behind this is kind of twofold. And the first one is how we're operating right now is very volunteer heavy. And that's a great thing in the sense that I'm so thankful for our volunteers and for how they've contributed to this time and the season and the ability to gather in some form or fashion. But we also want to be careful and considerate of our volunteers and not burn them out. We don't want to wear them down to the point they go, man, this is not joy-filled service any longer. And so as part of that, we want to shift from 3 to 2 because it opens up less need for volunteers. It allows us to still facilitate services, but have more volunteers spread out between less services. The second reason that we feel confident in doing this is because when we first came back, we weren't sure what it was going to look like, how many people were going to come, and how it was going to look to safely distance people within our worship center. And after the past few weeks, we've realized that we can indeed do this with the people who've been coming. You guys have done a fantastic job of being cautious and being considerate of other people as we entered into this space in person. And so we feel even more confident being able to move forward, even with less services, still doing it in a safe way. And so outside of the 2 service, going from 3 services to 2, everything else is going to remain the same. The doors are still going to be propped open. You're going to continue to see volunteers, leadership, and staff wearing masks. We still encourage people to do that just out of consideration for our neighbors and our community. You're going to see the spacing within our worship center with pews roped off and the dots on the back of the pews to allow you a visual to see how far would 6 feet really look like. And then we're going to keep those services right to an hour. So as we facilitate this and as we walk into this together, the first thing that we want you to do is recognize that the two services we're going to do are Thursday night and then Sunday morning at 10:30. So Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. and then Sunday morning from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. is when we're going to facilitate these service times starting in August. Now, as part of this, one thing that's really important, and we want to overemphasize this to you, is in going to two services, we need to be extra specific about being able to monitor how many people are planning to come to those services. And so, if you're planning on coming to a given service, we ask you to get on our website, get on our Facebook page. We'll send out an email link each week so that you can register for the service you plan on attending. Now, as we've said before, we want to emphasize this again. You don't have to have a ticket to come, okay? We're not going to stand at the door and say, oh, you didn't register, you're not going to be welcomed in. But we do want to encourage you to help us be able to serve you well. And the only way we can do that well is if we have an idea about how many people are planning on being here. And so we're going to send out a link with this to the service lists and you can go through, you could even register for each one you plan to come to. If you plan to come Sunday every week, you can register for all of those. If you plan to come Thursday every week, you can do it for all of them. But we want to encourage you to just get in the habit of doing that during this transitional time so that we can better serve you and know how to facilitate this in a way that is safe, that is healthy, and that is considerate about the other people that we're seeking to reach and to serve. Now, as we jump back into this, you may have some more questions, but one thing I want to offer just in the midst of all of this that we're going to do a little differently, just to mix it up a little bit. Normally this time of year we have our annual church picnic where we spend some time at Faith Bible Camp and we eat together and we worship together. We're going to do that this year. It's just going to look a little bit different. So Sunday, August 2nd, that's the first Sunday in August, we're going to have our 10:30 a.m. morning service outside at Faith Bible Camp. And what we're going to ask you to do is bring your lunch, so your drinks, your food, and bring a chair. Whether you want to bring a blanket, lawn chairs, if you want to bring a pop-up tent for some shade, you can do that. And we're just going to celebrate being able to gather together in a different way. We're going to be outside, we're going to worship together, we're going to open God's Word together, and best yet, we've got some people who are going to profess their faith in Jesus through baptism. So we're going to celebrate that together. So 10:30, August 2nd, we're going to join out there. We'll put out some more details like address and other things in the days to come. But plan on that. Put it on your calendar. Join us out there. Now, if you're thinking, I'm just not comfortable with that, it's okay. We're still going to meet in person here at the church the Thursday before. We'll also be recording that service so that you can join us online if you're not able to make it to either. So there's multiple ways to gather with us, and we want to encourage you to just do so in one of those three ways, whatever that is. And so we're excited to be able to move forward. We're excited to be able to do this safely. And I just want to encourage you in the midst of this that let's strive together to have an attitude that resembles that of Christ, that models an attitude of someone whose hope is not in these earthly things, but is eternal in nature. And I fully grasp it can be frustrating and it can be stressful, and for many of you it is right now. And I want you to know that we want to walk with you through that, and we ourselves have days where we feel the same way. But as we think about these things, I just want to take you to two verses in Psalm 121. It says in verses 1 and 2, I lift my eyes up to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. How often do we stop and we consider that the one who created all of that is around us is the same one who's in control, whether we're in a pandemic or not? He's still in control. He's not surprised. He's not up there stressing out over all that's going on because he is God. And as his people, let's commit to fixing our eyes on him, about making this a priority to move forward in a way that would glorify him And even amongst the frustrations and stresses, let's commit to His truth, let's commit to His plan, and let's lean into this together, trusting Him for whatever's going to take place. If you have more questions about any of this, or you're interested in baptism on August 2nd and you want more details about that, let us know. Email us, call us, get a hold of us somehow, grab us on a Sunday morning and say, I'd love to talk about this, or I've got a question. We want to communicate well with you. Allow us to do that. We look forward to seeing you in the days ahead in one of the ways that's possible. I'm thankful to be your pastor, your shepherd. I'm thankful that you are a part of the family of God, the church, in this way. We'll see you soon.